Peace and light, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mental Health Monday presented by Pam's Balance. I'm your host, Dr. Jackie. In the ever loving, evolving landscape of our lives, mental well being is not a destination, but a continuous journey. Embrace the present, learn from the past, and hope for the future. Your mind is your greatest asset. Nurture it with care. Dr. Jackie. I want to welcome you back to Mental Health Monday. In today's episode, we're diving into the world of relationships and how they impact our mental health, whether it's family, friends, or romantic partners. Building and maintaining healthy relationships is essential for our overall well being. Today, we'll be exploring the key elements of strong relationships and provide practical tips to nurture and improve our connections. This is another insightful episode of Mental Health Monday. This is your go to spot for candid discussions, practical advice, and compassionate support. So, whether you're a regular listener or new to our community, we're so glad that you are here. I'm also very excited to introduce a new segment called the Now Factor, where we will be diving into the latest contemporary news and discuss its impact on mental health. So, grab a cozy drink, find a comfortable spot, and join us as we journey towards a healthier mind and a happier you. And remember, your mental health matters, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Let's get started. First, I want to give a shout out to the wonderful artists whose music is used during the episode, and the YouTube music library where all music from today's episode is sourced. Shout out to Breaking Copyright, Non Copyrighted Music, Cythereals, Embrace, and Bittersweet Chill. Darren Curtis, Searching, Waiting, Longing. Tokyo Moons is Way Home, and Deep Instrumental Music, Peace. We also want to give a shout out to Beats Avenue, Marshmallow, Type, the track Be Happy, and Future Bass. The content of this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. And always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or a psychological condition. If you are in a crisis or think you may have an emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The content of the Now Factor segment is for informational purposes only, and the views and opinions expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Mental Health Monday podcast or its hosts. The information provided in this segment is not intended to replace professional advice, diagnosis, or treatment, and always seek the advice of a qualified professional with any questions or concerns that you may have regarding current events or their impact on your mental health. If you are in a crisis, please contact emergency services or a mental health professional immediately. For additional support, visit the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI. They have a website and you can visit it at www.nami.org. NAMI offers valuable resources, support groups, and educational information to help individuals and families affected by mental illness. If you are experiencing mental health issues, know that you are not alone. It's okay to ask for help, and there are people who care about you and want to support you. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, or a mental health professional. And remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Your mental well being is important, and there are resources and support available to help you on your journey to healing. Let's dive into segment one, the importance of healthy relationships. Welcome again to another episode of Mental Health Monday. In today's episode, we're diving into the world of relationships and how they impact our mental health. Whether it's family, friends, or romantic partners, building and maintaining healthy relationships is essential for our overall well being. Segment one, the importance of healthy relationships. I have three bullet points in this area, and they are how relationships affect our mental health, the benefits of strong supportive connections, and recognizing the signs of unhealthy relationships. And so, how does relationships affect our mental health? Healthy relationships provide emotional support, reduce stress, and contribute to a sense of belonging and security. Positive connections can boost our self esteem, enhance our happiness, and help us navigate life's challenges more effectively. Conversely, unhealthy relationships can lead to a feeling of isolation, anxiety, and depression. Segment two of this section, elements that are key of happy relationships or healthy relationships. I also have three bullet points in this area. They are communication, which is the foundation of any relationship, trust and honesty, and mutual respect and understanding. The benefits of strong, supportive connections. Strong relationships offer numerous benefits, including emotional support, companionship, and practical assistance. They can also encourage personal growth, provide a sense of purpose, and promote a positive outlook on life. By investing in healthy relationships, we can create a solid foundation for our mental and emotional well being. Moving right along into the next segment, it's all about nurturing your relationships. I have three bullet pointed areas here, and they are tips for improving communication and active listening, setting boundaries and respecting them, and showing appreciation and gratitude. And so, recognizing the signs of healthy relationships is important. The signs of unhealthy relationships can include constant criticism, lack of trust, manipulation, and disrespect. Identifying these red flags can help us take steps to address issues and seek healthier connections. Key elements of healthy relationships. Now that we understand the importance of healthy relationships, let's explore the key elements that make them thrive. Number one is communication, the foundation of any relationship. Effective communication is crucial for any relationship. It involves active listening, expressing thoughts and feelings openly, and resolving conflicts constructively. Practicing empathy and understanding can strengthen the bond between individuals and create a supportive environment. Then there's trust and honesty. Trust and honesty are the cornerstones of healthy relationships. Trust is built over time through consistent actions and reliability. Honesty fosters transparency and authenticity, allowing individuals to feel safe and valued. Maintaining trust and honesty helps prevent misunderstandings and promote mutual respect. Mutual respect and understanding. Respecting each other's boundaries, opinions, and differences is essential for a healthy relationship. Mutual respect creates an environment where individuals feel valued and appreciated, and understanding and accepting each other's unique perspectives and experiences can enhance the connection and reduce conflicts. The next segment. nurturing your relationships. In this segment, we'll discuss practical tips for nurturing and improving your relationships. Improving communication and active listening. To improve communication, practice active listening by giving your full attention, acknowledging what the other person is saying, and responding thoughtfully. Use I statements to express your feelings without blaming or accusing, and be open to feedback and compromise. Setting boundaries and respecting them. Establishing a respecting boundaries is vital for us to maintain healthy relationships. Communicate your needs and limits clearly, and respect the boundaries set by others. Healthy boundaries help us prevent misunderstandings, reduce stress, and promote mutual respect. Showing appreciation and gratitude. Expressing appreciation and gratitude can strengthen our relationships and create a positive atmosphere. Acknowledging the efforts and qualities you value in the other person and showing your gratitude through kind words and thoughtful actions. Small gestures of appreciation can really go a long way in nurturing your connections. In segment four, overcoming challenges. In segment four, it's all about dealing with conflicts in a healthy way, managing expectations and understanding differences, seeking help when needed, whether it's therapy or support groups. We are or have to or should prioritize these areas because every relationship faces challenges, right? But how we address them can make a big difference. And so, when it comes to dealing with conflicts in a healthy way, conflicts are a natural part of any relationship, but they don't have to be destructive. Approach conflicts with a problem solving mindset, focusing on finding solutions rather than assigning blame. Practice patience, empathy, and open communications to resolve issues constructively. And then there's that area of managing expectations and understanding differences. Managing expectations and understanding each other's differences can prevent misunderstandings and frustration. Be realistic about what you can expect from your relationships and appreciate the unique qualities each person brings. Embrace diversity and use it as an opportunity to learn and grow together. Seeking help when needed, therapy, and support groups. If you encounter persistent challenges in your relationships, seeking professional help can be beneficial. Couples therapy, family counseling, or support groups can provide valuable insights, guidance, and strategies for improving your relationships. And don't hesitate to reach out for support when needed. In conclusion, as we wrap up this segment of today's episode, remember that building healthy relationships takes effort and dedication, but the rewards are well worth it. Strong connections can provide immense support and joy in our lives. I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me today for the Mental Health Monday show. Before we totally wrap up, you guys know I have to share affirmations, journal prompts, and call to action that specifically focus on building healthy relationships. And so there are five affirmations. I will share three. If you'd like to get all five, just reach out to me on one of the social platforms or shoot me an email and I'll get them all to you. But I do encourage you guys to work with affirmations and create your own unique set of affirmations that are uniquely for you. And so, first up, I communicate openly and honestly with my loved ones. And number two, I deserve relationships that are built on trust and respect. And number three, I set healthy boundaries that nurture my well being. Today's journal prompts, there are also five, and I will share three with you guys. Number one, reflect on a time when you felt truly connected with someone. What made that connection strong and meaningful? And number two, what qualities do you have that you value most in your relationships? How can you nurture these qualities in your interactions? And number three, what are some ways that you can show appreciation and gratitude to the important people in your life? Today's call to action as we conclude this segment. We encourage you to take proactive steps toward building and maintaining healthy relationships. Use the affirmations to reinforce positive beliefs about your interactions with others. Spend time journaling with the prompts to gain insights into your relationship dynamics and areas for growth. And remember, strong relationships require effort, empathy, and communication. Reach out to someone you care about and express your appreciation. Engage in a meaningful conversation and practice active listening. Join our community on social media using the hashtag healthy relationships and share your journey with us. Together, we can create a supportive network that fosters loving and respectful connections. In summary, join us next Monday for an insightful episode of Mental Health Monday, where we'll delve into the topic of overcoming seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. As the winter months continue, many people experience the effects of SAD, a type of depression that occurs at certain times of the year. In this episode, we'll be discussing the symptoms, the causes, and effective strategies to combat SAD, from light therapy and lifestyle changes to practical tips for boosting your mood. I've got you covered. Don't miss the chance to gain valuable insights and support for managing seasonal depression. Tune in on January 27th, 2025, and take the first step toward a brighter you. Now, you guys, we're going to delve into a special segment that is a part of the now factor. And this is all about the benefits of challenges of remote work in 2025. As we wrap up today's episode and get ready to segue into the now factor, remember that building healthy relationships takes effort and dedication, but the rewards are well worth it. Strong connections can provide immense support and joy in our lives. I want to thank you for tuning in to the first segment of Mental Health Monday. Now, we're going to take a short break, enjoy the music, and I'll be right back with a short shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. because we are celebrating his birthday today. And then we'll dive into segment two of today's show, The Now Factor. Hold tight, I'll be right back. Peace and light again, you guys, and thank you all for holding. So, as we segue into the now factor, I have to give a shout out to Dr. King for all of his tireless work that he had did, and his work is still going, so he's still doing it. Today, on Mental Health Monday, we honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a champion of justice, equality, and peace. Dr. King reminded us that true change begins in the mind and heart, and his message of resilience and hope still inspires us to face challenges in our lives with courage and compassion. As we reflect on his dream, let's also remember to take care of our mental well being and support one another on the journey toward healing and wholeness. Together, we can build a world that's filled with peace and unity that Dr. King envisioned. Now let's dive right into the now factor. We're going to jump into the now factor that's a part of the Mental Health Monday show. And it's also going to be a short segment during the midweek boost show that I do on Wednesdays. And so today, January 2025, is the first show of the Now Factor. We're diving into the topic of AI in 2021, revolution or risk. Welcome to the Now Factor, where we keep you informed on today's most important stories. I'm Dr. Jackie, and today we're diving into a topic that's reshaping our world: artificial intelligence. It's driving progress, or are we facing unprecedented risks? But first, let's kick things off with the top headlines of the day. Here are the stories that you need to know today. The United Nations announced a new initiative to regulate AI technology globally. Protests continue in Europe over energy policies impacting everyday costs. And in entertainment news, a viral AI generated song has sparked debates about copyright. So stay tuned as we delve deeper into these stories. Now, let's talk about AI in 2025. From self driving cars to AI assistants writing novels, technology is evolving faster than ever. But with great power comes great responsibility, or so we hope. For example, did you know that AI is being used as a tool to predict natural disasters? And so AI as a tool, it's not inherently good or bad. The key is how we choose to use it. It's already saved countless lives, but on the flip side, unregulated AI can pose security threats. In 2024 alone, AI related cyber attacks rose by 50%. So, what's your take? Do you see AI as a force for good, or are we walking into dangerous territory? Share your thoughts with us on social media using hashtag the now factor. Fact versus fiction. In today's fact versus fiction, let's tackle a viral rumor. Can AI replace all human jobs by the year 2030? The truth: AI will change jobs, but human creativity and critical thinking remain irreplaceable. What jobs do you think are safe from AI? Let us know. Now, let's dive into a deeper discussion on the implications of AI for jobs, privacy, and ethics, which you may be affected by. Opportunities, jobs. New roles. AI creates jobs in fields like data science, AI maintenance, and ethical AI regulation. Efficiency. Automation can handle repetitive tasks, allowing workers to focus on creative and strategic activities. And reskilling. Companies are investing in training programs to upskill employees, preparing them for AI integrated roles. And so there are three areas when it comes to jobs and opportunities: new roles, efficiency, and reskilling. What are the challenges? Number one, job displacement. Industries like manufacturing and retail face significant disruptions with roles placed by machines. For example, autonomous vehicles, reducing the need for truck drivers. And number two, widening inequality. High skilled workers benefit while low skilled workers risk being left behind. And number three, gig economy growth. More temporary project based roles may arise, reducing job stability. The key question here is, how can governments and industries ensure fair transition for displaced workers? And then we have to think about the privacy concerns. Data collection. AI relies on massive amounts of personal data, raising concerns about how this information is collected, stored, and used. For example, smart assistants recording conversations without consent, or surveillance. AI powered cameras and facial recognition software are increasingly used by governments and corporations, threatening individual privacy. And hacking risks. AI driven systems are vulnerable to breaches, exposing sensitive personal information. So, what may be the solutions? Transparent policies. Companies should clearly communicate how they handle data. Or legislation. Governments need to establish strong data privacy laws. For example, the EU's GDPR is a model for protecting personal information. Consumer awareness. Educating the public about data protection can reduce risks. The key questions here, or the key question here, is, how do we balance innovation with the right to privacy? In this area, we're delving into ethics, bias, and fairness. Algorithmic bias. AI can perpetuate or amplify societal biases present in training data. For example, discrimination in hiring tools or facial recognition, misidentifying certain demographics. And the equitable access. Developing nations may lag in adopting AI depending on global digital divide. And then there's the area of accountability, decision transparency. AI systems make high stakes decisions, for example, medical diagnoses, legal outcomes, that need to be explainable, that need to be explainable. And who's responsible if an AI system causes harm? Is the blame on developers, users, or the machine? So, thus comes the ethical dilemmas: autonomy versus control. Should autonomous weapons be banned? And human oversight. In what scenario should AI require human supervision? The key question is, how can we ensure AI benefits everyone, not just the privileged few? These points highlight the multifaceted impact of AI, making it a great way for us to engage as citizens so that we will be in the loop as up to what is going on. And so when it comes to jobs and the opportunities, AI do create new roles in fields like data science, AI maintenance, and ethical AI regulation, as well as efficiency. Automation can handle repetitive tasks, allowing workers to focus on creative and strategic activities. And then there's the reskilling area. Companies are investing in training programs to upskill employees, preparing them for AI integrated roles. What are the challenges? I list three: job displacement. Industries are like manufacturing and retail face significant disruptions with roles replaced by machines. For example, autonomous vehicles reducing the need for truck drivers. And then there's that area of widening inequality. High skilled workers benefit while low skilled workers risk being left behind. And then gig economy growth. Many or more temporary project based roles may arise, reducing job stability. So, what's the key question here? How can governments and industries ensure a fair transition for displaced workers? There are privacy concerns, data collection. AI relies on massive amounts of personal data, raising concerns about this information is collected, stored, and used. For example, smart assistants recording conversations without consent, surveillance, these AI powered cameras and facial recognition software are increasingly used by governments and corporations, threatening individual privacy. And then there's that old hacking risk. AI driven systems are vulnerable to breaches, exposing sensitive personal information. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I love the comfort of being able to do things digitally from my home or from my office, paying my bills, whether it's the credit card bill or the mortgage or car note. But there's this looming concern in my mind that I could potentially get hacked. And so there are hacking risks. We all know about it. These AI driven systems are vulnerable to breaches, which expose or can expose our sensitive personal information. What are the solutions? I'll say transparent policies. Companies should clearly communicate how they handle data. Legislation. Governments need to establish stronger data privacy laws. For example, the EU's GDPR is a model for protecting personal information. Look it up. EU's GDPR model for protecting personal information. And then there's the area of consumer awareness. Educating the public about data protection can reduce risks. The key question here is, how do we balance innovation with the right to privacy? And we have to delve into the ethics and bias fairness, and I know I touched base on it earlier today, but this is really important. Algorithmic bias. AI can perpetuate or amplify societal biases. President training data, for example, discrimination in hiring tools or facial recognition, misidentifying certain demographics. And then there's the equitable access. Developing nations may lag in adopting AI depending on where they are situated globally and this global digital divide. So we have to be accountable. We have to be made to, well, we don't have to be made, but it has to be available for us as far as being transparent when it comes to these AI systems that make these high stake decisions, such as these medical diagnoses and the legal outcomes, and who is really responsible. Who would be the blame if AI system causes harm? Is the blame again on the developers, the users, the machines, or us as citizens for not being more involved and making sure that things are more transparent when it comes to AI? We know that automation will displace some jobs, um, but on the same note, it's expected to create millions of new jobs. The World Economic Forum, this is a statistic, you guys. The World Economic Forum estimates that AI and automation will create 97 million new jobs by 2025. That's this year. And feels like AI development, cybersecurity, and renewable energy. Now, here are some complementary roles. In many cases, AI enhances human jobs rather than replacing them. For example, customer service representatives use AI chatbots to handle routine queries. And so they use the chatbots to um, handle these queries that allow the customer service reps to focus on the more complex issues. Historical parallels: the Industrial Revolution replaced many manual labor jobs, but created entirely new industries from manufacturing to transportation. AI represents a similar shift. For example, Tesla's Gigafactory employs AI driven robots for precision tasks, but still relies heavily on human engineers, supervisors, and maintenance workers. Here some myths. Now that was a um, myth number one. Myth number one was, will AI replace jobs in 2030? The misinformation is AI is often portrayed as a threat to the job market, with predictions that machines will take over most human jobs, leaving millions unemployed. But the facts are that while automation will displace some jobs, it is also expected to create millions of new jobs. And there are statistics on this from the World Economic Forum that estimates that AI and automation will create 97 million new jobs by 2025. And so we are in January 2025. Does that mean that by the end of this month, January, these 97 million jobs will be created that are new to our society? Or will it take a whole stretch throughout the entire year, and by December 2025 we will be able to calculate and register that 97 million new jobs have been created by AI? Keep your eyes open, guys. I'll definitely keep my eyes open for those numbers. There are the complementary roles that AI plays for customer service. And so that's dealing with myth number one. Will AI replace all jobs by 2030? Now, diving into myth number two, AI is always accurate and unbiased. The misinformation here is AI systems are often viewed as neutral and infallible because they rely on data and algorithms. The facts are there's bias in data. AI is only as unbiased as the data it is trained on. If the data reflects societal biases, the AI will replicate and amplify those biases. For example, a hiring algorithm developed by Amazon was found to penalize resumes that included the word women's, as it was trained on data from a predominantly male workforce. The error rates: AI systems can make mistakes, especially in sensitive areas like healthcare or criminal justice. The stats are a 2019 study found that facial recognition technology misidentified Black and Asian faces 10 to 100 times more than white faces. And I remember when that went out, all of a sudden Google and all of these companies started apologizing and said that they were working on it. The stat is a 2019 study found that this facial recognition technology misidentified Black and Asian faces. And so, for example, in the UK, a police AI program flagged people of color at, and I'm going to say Black people, come on, let's keep it real. In the UK, a police AI program flagged people of color at disproportionately higher rates for potential criminal activity, raising concerns about systemic bias. Myth number 3: AI is a threat to human privacy. The misinformation here is AI is often seen as a tool for widespread surveillance, leaving no room for privacy in the future. The facts are data regulation. Governments and organizations are increasingly adopting strict data privacy laws to mitigate misuse. For example, the EU's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, enforces strict guidelines on how companies collect, store, and use personal data. AI for privacy protection. AI can also enhance privacy by creating systems that secure personal information. For example, AI driven encryption tools protect data in a transit and at rest. So protects data that's in transit and at rest, reducing the risk of breaches. Control use. Surveillance systems powered by AI like facial recognition can be regulated to ensure ethical use. China's extensive surveillance network contrasts with more restrained applications in democratic nations. The statistic on this is a Pew Research study found that 64% of Americans are concerned about how companies use AI to monitor them, but only 15% fully understand how their data is collected. And myth number 4, and I'm going to wrap it up: AI will become sentient and take over. The misinformation: Hollywood movies often depict AI as sentient beings capable of taking over humanity. For instance, the movie The Terminator. The facts are current AI, all AI systems are task specific and lack self awareness. They process data to perform specific tasks, but don't think like humans. For example, GPT based systems. Mostly everybody knows about Chat GPT now. These GPT based systems, like me, generate text based on patterns and data, but don't consciously do it um, by having conscious desires. So GPT based systems generate text based on patterns and data, but don't have consciousness or desires. The future limitations: experts agree that developing sentient AI is for it, I mean, it's far from being achievable, if possible at all. There's a statistic at Stanford AI study that suggests it would take decades, if not centuries, to create systems capable of human like reasoning or emotions. And so, you guys, I got one more area that I am going to delve into, and then we're going to wrap up today's episode of the Now Factor. And I hope you guys are enjoying this segment. I know I had a great time when I was compiling data for this show. It's just really interesting because we are smack dab in the era of AI, and all of these subject matters, all of the statistics, and the areas that we are delving into when it comes to us being a digital society are very important, whether it's legal, it's medical, or whether it is personal. And I think that we all should be interested. And so, this last topic that I'm going to delve into is the topic of human oversight. AI development is governed by ethical guidelines to prevent misuse. Organizations like OpenAI and DeepMind focus on aligning AI systems with human values. For example, autonomous or autonomous, I think that's how you pronounce the word, autonomous weapons or an area of concern, but international treaties are being discussed to regulate their development and use. And so, you guys, that's it for today's segment on the now factor. I want you guys to tell me what you think. Please leave me a comment. I had a great time today, and I just want to thank the creator for allowing us to join today on the Mental Health Monday show and be able to share some insightful information in regards to the benefits of building healthy relationships, and the segment on AI and the now factor. Today is just the first show, and I will definitely be diving deeper into AI on the midweek boost this Wednesday and every Monday and Wednesday thereafter. And so for today's Mental Health Monday show, I want to invite you to join us next week, because next week is the final show of January's series. I'm gonna delve into more useful information in regards to helping us stay in a state of good well being. And I'll be presenting some information that could possibly help transform your mental wellness. And before I go, let's pray for those people who may be struggling with mental illness or some challenges. Let's uplift them with a positive thought, a positive prayer, or a mantra, so that we can learn to live fully in the moment and help each other. I want to thank you guys for joining us on this journey today of the Mental Health Monday, featuring the Now factor. And remember that every positive thought is a step toward a brighter future. Stay hopeful, stay kind, and we'll see you next week on Mental Health Monday. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Peace and light.